been wanting to get back into the gym, but you have a fear of getting hurt, or you feel like you've messed up your form, or maybe you just want to feel like yourself again, this program is for you. Because the strongest thing you can do for yourself is not lifting heavy. It's about starting where you are. So why do people struggle with getting back into the gym? I would say the number one reason would be fear of intensity, right? Maybe they used to lift heavy, right? And they're saying now, I'm not ready to go back to the gym and go that hard again. Or I went hard before and it just didn't feel right. It just felt uncomfortable, or I felt like I was trying too hard, or I lacked motivation. What's really happening is people associate lifting with maximum effort, right? Being sore for days, gasping for air. So intensity starts to feel unsafe or not motivating. So why does this stop our progress? The nervous system goes into protect mode, right? When intensity is too high too soon, your form breaks down, your confidence drops, and your consistency, it disappears. I may be good for 2 weeks, but then I take those next 2 weeks off. So I have a great program to help fix this. I created the 1 set of 20 confidence cycle because most adults don't need more intensity. They need better form, better movement, and they want to trust in their body again. So this program is all about lowering the load to make it manageable, right? You want it to be kind of stress-free, especially in the beginning stages. So this 1 set of 20 is going to be a lower load, right? It's going to manage that stress. Also, enough reps. This equals real work without overwhelming you. Then intensity builds inside the set, not from ego lifting or anything like that. So you don't need to go harder. You need to feel safe enough to stay consistent, to keep going. The second reason is fear of injury, right? I don't want to hurt myself again. What's really happening is you might focus on those past injuries, or you might have had bad coaching, or you're rushing weight before mastering the movements. I'm all about mastering the movements. And with mastering the movements, first comes mobility. So we'll talk a lot about mobility in episode 2. So this stops the progress of creating tension, right? Hesitation creates tension. Also, tension creates compensation. You may be working one muscle more than you're working the other muscle, which also creates injury, which leads to our third thing. Compensation increases injury risk. So with the 1 set of 20, it solved this. It's repetition that teaches control. So moderate loads will strengthen your tendons, your ligaments, your connective tissue. Repeating good reps equal injury prevention, not risk. So strong muscles don't necessarily protect you, but strong movement does. So that's what we're here to do. We want to improve our movement inside and also outside of the gym. And third, people have fear of inconsistency. So what's really happening is the program may feel too complicated, or you'll feel too exhausted, too time demanding. Sometimes one missed week can equal quitting altogether. So why does this stop your progress? So a lot of times people tie success to perfection, right? Meaning you have to be perfect every time. I think this program is great in building consistency because it's not every day, it's just 4 days a week. And actually you can make this 3 or 4 days a week. You can do 2 full body days, which are going to be our 1 set of 20 days, and then do 1 maybe upper body day or 1 lower body day. It really is up to you. So you can do either 4 days a week or 3 days a week, but then you also have that time in between to recover, which helps when it comes to trying to be consistent because we need moments of rest. And sometimes missing a workout can equal like identity collapse, right? You feel like I didn't do my best, and now that just created a downfall of emotions and feelings towards yourself, where we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So with the 1 set of 20, this is a simple structure like I mentioned, okay? You focused on fewer exercises, repeatable exercises. Also, it's going to be clear, focused sessions. So the best programs aren't really the hardest programs. The best programs are the programs that you can do repeatedly for at least 4 to 8 weeks. Number 4, feeling like you have to go hard to make progress. So the fourth thing is feeling like you have to go hard to make progress. Me and my friends were just talking about this the other day, and they felt like you had to work out as often as possible, like 4, 5, 6 days a week, because that's what we're seeing online, right? That's what a lot of people are portraying. And I'm like, essentially, no. I think if you are someone who lives a fairly regular lifestyle and you want to be healthy, the best you can do for yourself is work out twice a week. I think that's great in terms of wanting to feel confident, be consistent, but also see progress. So when we feel like I'm just exhausted. If I'm exhausted, it doesn't count, right? What's really happening is it's coming from like that social media conditioning that we just talked about, but also hustle culture in fitness. Like you don't have to burn yourself out to be successful. Like recovery is a part of the program. Take it back to scripture. Jesus was doing his works and his deeds. In the plan also was to rest. That was a part of the plan. I would say in his journey, there had to be moments of rest because without rest, you create burden and chaos. So we need to rest. We need to rest and we also need to recover. Also, confusing your efforts with effectiveness. Sometimes your efforts, because you're so tired and exhausted, are not going to be really effective at all. I've witnessed that myself within the last month. I had just a breakdown. My body felt broken down. And yes, I wanted to give all the effort I could, but if it wasn't quality effort, then it's not worth it. You can injure yourself. You can become really tired and drained. We don't want to do that because that leaves us in this burnout stage, or we feel like we don't want to be consistent anymore, or we feel like, you know what, I'm done playing in like this rat race. We don't want to do that. So why this stops your progress? It's burnout, it's overtraining, inconsistency in our recovery like we talked about. Also mental fatigue. I've been there. Mental fatigue is a thing. So how this 1 set of 20 resolves that is it's progress through better form, smoother reps. Also, it creates that strength that we get in our last 5 reps, right? The effort is in your intention, not the chaos. Progress isn't about suffering. It's about adaptation and consistency. So a lot of people think progress only comes from high intensity training, right? But intensity without confidence, that's where people quit. So creating this 1 set of 20 confidence cycle is lower than traditional high intensity lifting, but it's still high enough to create real adaptation. You're going to build muscle endurance, stronger tendons and hopefully ligaments if you're doing this correctly, better conditioning and coordination, and confidence under the bar, confidence in the gym. I think this is the perfect program for anyone tapping into the gym and wanting to work out and they haven't really done that before. Also, you can kind of tweak this at home and make this an at-home workout if you have some dumbbells and some resistance bands. Confidence is the adaptation. So high reps with moderate load enhances blood flow. Blood flow to tendons, ligaments, also strengthens them more effectively than heavier loads, right? It builds muscle endurance. Each exercise, right? So in this one set of 20 program, I've added 4 compound movements and I've paired them with accessory movements. So we'll talk about the first workout, which is going to be back squats, where I'm doing 1 set of 20, and then I'm pairing that with maybe a split squat, where I'm only going to be doing 1 set of 10 of that accessory workout. I thought about doing 1 set of 20 with my compound movement and then my accessory movement doing 3 sets of 10, but I wasn't focused on burnout and I wasn't focused on giving maximum effort. I wanted to pair it and make it balanced enough where they work well together, okay? With the back squats, they're done for a maximum of 20 reps being the target goal. So you want to push as many reps as you can or try to get as many as 20. And as you go through this program, we want to progress in weight, right? So if the first week, if you can't do 20 reps, maybe you do 15. By week 3, hopefully you're able to do 20 reps. Now, if you're working with reps instead of weight, if you feel like sticking with the same weight will be more beneficial for you and you do the 1 set of 20, but you only make it to, let's say 12, the next week we're going to go for try for 12 again. And then the third week, maybe you try for 15. And then that's going to be your form of progression. Then once you make it to 1 set of 20, that's where you want to up your weight about 5 to 10%. With this program, you can even find yourself going beyond 20 if you're just repping, if you're doing a thing, okay? This plays a key role in positive results like improving form, adding weight, and building confidence. The last rep is high intensity. They are effective in developing greater strength. So within that 11th to 15th rep, they favor development of your muscle endurance, where the low reps or lower intensity is great for repetition, really learning your form. You don't want the one set of 20 to just be easy. You want it to be challenging. So by the last 5 reps, you want to feel like, you know what, this is feeling a little harder than I expected, right? You want them to be a little bit more challenging so you can learn to adapt. So you can learn to adapt to the strength and also maintaining form, your breath work, all of that. But overall, low load, high quality, real results. Low load, high quality, real results equals better form. We're also working with motor learning and endurance and tissue prep. We're doing a lot of mobility in this program as well. I'll talk a lot about that in my episode number 2. So before we load anything, right, we earn the position. So this isn't about stretching harder. It's about prepping your joints and nervous system to move well. That's where your warm-up comes into play. I've been focused a lot on mobility and also activation exercises and workouts to prep my body for the real movements, for the main lifts like back squats and overhead press. This also ties back to your blood flow, your neuromuscular readiness, right? And injury prevention. I think that's my biggest thing. Injury prevention. We ain't trying to get hurt out here. I think that's why this program is perfect, because it's teaching you a pattern that you'll get used to, but also a lot of these patterns we're doing outside of the gym, like picking up our children, bending over and picking up things. We want to make real life activities, real life situations, we want them to feel better, all right? Not just in the gym, but also outside of the gym. I paired 4 compound movements with accessory movements, and I chose compound movements like back squats, right? Because they teach your body to work together. The goal is up to 20 reps, right? But stopping with good form matters more than just finishing. Those last reps, that's where muscular endurance and also confidence meet. This program is going to prepare you for more advanced lifts, for more exercises. We're dipping into other exercises that help aid in creating a better squat. Also create a better stability, core stability. So each main lift is going to be 1 set of 20, and then the accessory workout, whether a stabilizing workout, they're going to be 1 set of 20. Or I may have a core workout, which is like bird dogs, where I do 5 sets for 5 seconds on each side. The 1 set of 20 program uses more reps, which is more suitable for better learning of new exercises, right? You learn correct form and safe techniques of strength exercises. This is needed not only for the benefit of exercises, but also to prevent injuries. Like your neuromuscular system based most exercises, so it's important how their exercise is executed. It's an important role in preventing injury. So we learn to master and correct execution. I learned in that first week of doing my 1 set of 20 that I noticed some imbalances in my back squat where one side was stronger than the other. And I only would have learned that through doing this 1 set of 20, slowing down the movements, right? And doing this 20 times, I kind of felt the difference from how I felt in the beginning of the workout toward the end of the workout. Knowing this information now, I was able to create mobility exercises or activation exercises that help me get stronger and feel stronger and be more confident. So when I got back into the gym to do the 1 set of 20 again in the back squats, they felt smoother. I felt more confident under the bar, and I was able to progress in weight. So what most people don't realize is that repeating quality reps teaches your brain what to do, right? Your nervous system learns this is safe. I know the pattern. I feel confident. I can do this. I can do more of this. I want to do more of this, right? Intrinsic motivation. It's just not doing this because I know I have to, but doing this because I want to, because it makes me feel good. That's why this program works so well for adults getting back into lifting. It's designed for real life. So real life tasks become easier, and you also feel more confident in real life. So I want to know, comment below. One thing you want to get stronger in 2026, shredded, right? Not just strong. do you want to feel more confident, right, outside of the gym? Like last year, my goal was to feel confident outside of the gym. So that meant me going for more walks outside where I felt safer walking because I was doing this repeatable routine often, going outside in the fresh air, walking new trails, walking with my head up and shoulders back. That created this feeling of confidence, of strength, of knowing, of belonging that I don't think I'll ever lose again. And I think every time I go for a walk, it makes me feel even more confident. So when I first started walking with my weighted vest, I would have felt a little bit uneasy or uncomfortable the first whole walk I did for the first hour. Then later in the summer, halfway through, that confidence will kick in. Now I feel like the confidence kicks in right when I leave the door. I feel safe in my home. I feel safe in me. I feel safe. And I think that was my biggest goal of 2026 is building more confidence, but also feeling safe within myself, if that makes sense. So yeah, let me know. Comment one thing that you want to get stronger in 2026. And I hope to see you in the vlog in episode 2, where we talk about mobility and the importance of it. Bye.
As I get a little older, I realize life is perspective, and my perspective may differ from yours. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been down with me. All my fans, all my beautiful